What's up guys, Avian here. I bring to you my guide on the reworked Taric. I've left a list of timestamps for the chapters in the description below, but sit back and be dazzled by this twinkling star. His new skill set is outrageous. His W truly enhances the ability of Taric's entire spell kit. When an ally is marked with Bastion and within range of Taric, his abilities are duplicated from that ally. Apart from that, he is pretty similar to his less outrageous self, but we will talk more about his abilities later. For Taric's runes, a mixture of armor, health, magic resistance or ability power, or any of these with scaling per level, are all good. You need to boost up Taric's survivability so you can continue to use your passive to spam out your abilities more often in team fights. For Taric's Masteries, I'd consider 0, 12, 18. I believe that Bond of Stone scales extremely well with Taric's overall new rework, and I don't feel that Taric is built around heal as his primary ability, therefore the points spent to gain wind speakers seems better invested in enhancing his durability benefits instead. I wouldn't get Expose Weakness because I feel that Bandit and Meditation benefit Taric well to ensure that he has enough mana to dish out more abilities when optimizing his passive in comparison to boosting burst. Now we all know that Taric likes to get up and close with all of the men, so I feel that Legendary Guardian boosts up his stats pretty well, and I opt in for Boots of Swiftness instead. Now Taric's itemization is excellent against teams that are heavy in AD damage. This is when armor really shines through. If you do find yourself up against AP heavy compositions or heavy CC comps, consider some of the items that are on view in the box below. But otherwise, let's talk about Taric's optimal item build. Starting items, grab the Relic Shield, Pots and Wards, and progress early game into a Sidestone, Targon's Brace, and Glacial Shrouds. You need to get boots and upgrade that trinket at level 9. Progress to finish off Face of the Mountain or Eye of the Equinox. Catalyst Protector and progress on to the late game and reflect the game's conditions. If you need more armor, get Glacial Shroud. Or if you need more AP, build towards some of the other items. In late game, Zeke's is a very useful item if your AD has an Infinity Edge without more than one crit item. Randuin's is a better choice if one of your allies already has Frozen Heart, and Sunfire is very good against close quarter champions. Items are very flexible, so just have a lot of fun with them, and make sure you keep track of who's the strongest on the enemy team so you can keep your itemization optimal for the conditions of the game. Now Taric's fabulous new abilities have slightly different names. His passive is Bravado. Similar to the old Taric passive, it's principally the same. If you attack enemies in between each of your spells, you get benefits. It's better to exploit the procs of this. You'll maximize damage and reduce the cooldown of your spells efficiently. The damage is also increased by how much armor you build, and if you want to maximize the number of stuns, I would recommend that you start out by casting E, use the auto attacks, then W, and so on. Q is called Starlight's Touch. You can now store up to 3 stacks of your heal, and it heals yourself and nearby allies around the location. Now it's also replicated on the ally if they're within range when marked with Bastion, and its cooldown is enhanced greatly by your passive. Taric's W is now called Bastion. This is a very versatile spell, and it provides passive armor and a shield to a marked ally. And if the marked ally is within range of you, all spells are replicated from their target location. Bastion synergizes with Taric's item optimization. It no longer affects enemies, and it's very similar to a Janna shield when used. I recommend using it on allies who have a lot of mobility. Therefore you can use your stun in all sorts of peculiar and dazzling ways, as well as pull off very good ultimates that make your team truly invincible. Taric's E is now called Dazzle, and this is a skill shot that projects a beam of light towards the target location, and after a 1-second delay, deals magic damage and stuns all enemies for a maximum of 1.5 seconds. It also resets your auto attack timer, and it's very similar to being aimed like Lulu's Glitter Lance. I maxed this first for dazzling results. His ultimate is Cosmic Radiance, and after a brief delay, all enemies around Taric's target location are granted invulnerability for 2.5 seconds. Now note, this spell only grants immunity to damage. It doesn't negate the effect of incoming crowd control, and it's quite difficult to time. Cast it before enemies are going to flash on top of you, CC you, or unload their burst onto you. So summoners, spam those stuns, shields and heals and grant immunity to your allies with fabulous positioning and awareness and wreck Summoner's Rift. I recommend scaling your ultimate of course every time you can, max E first, then move on to W and max Q last. Taric synergizes very well with AD carries who have mobility based spells. If they can close gaps and dash towards enemies, you can use your E to follow up and make offensive plays. The stronger the AD carry's damage is earlier, the better. Champions that are more static such as Kog'Maw, Ashe and Jinx can be more difficult to make plays with, so you can adapt your abilities and just peel for them instead to be effective. Champions such as Vayne and Ezreal or Twitch could be potentially very strong, but I believe that it would require a lot of good coordination with your AD carry. Now I don't believe Taric's playstyle is very strong until he has all of his abilities, so take it very easy early game. And once you get them, use your synergy to combine stuns, auto attacks, shields and so on to put out high amounts of damage. And once you reach mid game, try and be versatile with who you mark and exploit your kit for easy catches, peel and crowd control for macro plays. Go for the towers and objectives with your team as much as you can. Your ultimate is very good for diving turrets, but just be conscious of using it early enough. And as you progress to late game, you'll be a noticeable tank who can coordinate crowd control and peel, as well as keeping your team alive. It's brilliant at extending team fights and turning the tides when you're playing Taric. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and if you've learned anything, give the video a thumbs up as it helps me tremendously. You can go that step even further and share it to a friend or on Twitter or Facebook if you want to spread the word on how to play this reworked Taric. Otherwise, go and get real fabulous with this masculine beast. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. If you guys would like it, let me know in the comments below and I'll work on getting a commentary up so you can see more of the gameplay in detail. See you later.